Late 20s F assertive, confrontational. From a patriarchal culture. Am I setting myself up for toxic relationships? Advice. I'm a woman in my late 20s. I'm average looking, well educated, ambitious, and self-aware enough to know I'm not dumb. I'm assertive, confident, and sometimes aggressive. I don't shy away from confrontation. This has gotten me where I am in life. Most of the friends I grew up with are in long-term, stable, happy relationships. I'm also not short on male attention, and usually around men who want to stay and date me seriously in a long-term sense. I don't typically get dumped, and I think that's because I treat people the way they treat me. That said, forgiveness doesn't come easily to me. If I'm wronged, I don't let it slide or quietly absorb it. I don't usually get even by doing the same thing back, but I do confront issues directly and insist on accountability. I come from a country that's still fairly patriarchal, and there's a recurring dynamic where men seem to assume I'll eventually serve them, accommodating them, or soften myself to keep the peace. When that doesn't happen, the conflict follows. Men around me sometimes lie, raise their voices, screaming, threatening self-harm or harm on me or trying to intimidate, and when that happens, I push back. If someone shouts at me, I shouted back harder. I don't de-escalate situations just to make the other person comfortable. For context, I grew up with a father who used corporal punishment and was abusive until fairly recently. I eventually took a firm verbal stand, and when he crossed the line again, I struck back once. After that, he never dared to touch me again. He definitely hates me for it, but now he thinks twice before even raising his hands at me. But my mom and sister were not subjected to physical abuse but verbal and mental, yes. He continues to do that to them, but they're not assertive at all. They just take his shit and tell themselves they can't do much about it. I do not believe in that. Sometimes I get into arguments with my father on behalf of them, but it usually just ends with them blaming me for disrupting the peace of the house, but I truly believe they shouldn't be treated that way. My relationship with my father has always been conflict-prone because I don't blindly comply. I speak up, talk back when necessary, and confront issues directly. He resents this, but I know he also recognizes that I'm capable, intelligent, and able to lead my life on my own terms and care for my family when the time comes. I've noticed that some men assume they can treat me the way they treat other women, lying, shouting, dominating, until they realize I won't tolerate it. I'm the first daughter in a household of a very patriarchal society. If that means anything, I believe in advocating for myself and doing what's right, regardless of power dynamics or who the other person is. Men often call me toxic because I don't de-escalate during confrontations and refuse to pacify them during fights.